Hey everyone, and welcome. Millions of us see a blood pressure reading and just kind of nod. But what do those numbers really mean for our health? In this explainer, we're going to look past the cuff and dive into what high blood pressure is actually doing to the most important muscle you have, your heart. So imagine you get a reading like 140 over 90. The doctor says it's high. But so what? What is that force mechanically doing inside your chest minute after minute, day after day? That's the real question we're digging into today.
Okay, first things first. Hypertension is just the fancy medical term for high blood pressure. It's not about being stressed or hyper. Nope, this is all about physics. It's the constant extra force of your blood pushing and pushing against the walls of your arteries. And that relentless pressure, that's where all the trouble really begins.
Now, the thing about the damage from hypertension is that it doesn't start with some big, dramatic heart attack. Oh no, it's a silent, slow-motion process that starts deep inside your circulatory system in the very lining of your blood vessels themselves.
And the very first part of your body to take a hit from all this pressure is this super delicate, one-cell-thick lining inside your blood vessels called the endothelium. When that gets damaged, we call it endothelial dysfunction, and it's pretty much the critical first domino to fall on the path to serious heart problems.
So what is this dysfunction really? Well, think of your healthy arteries as brand new, flexible garden hoses. The endothelium helps them relax and widen, or dilate, whenever more blood needs to flow through. But under constant high pressure, that lining gets damaged. The hose starts to get stiff, old, and brittle. It can't relax and open up the way it should. And as you can see here, this isn't some minor detail. The research shows it's a huge early warning sign and a powerful predictor of future cardiovascular trouble.
Okay, so if the pipes, your blood vessels, are getting stiff and narrow, what does that mean for the pump? Well, it means the heart has a much tougher job. It has to pump way harder just to push blood through that resistant plumbing. Let's look at what that constant strain does to the heart muscle itself.
Right, so here's the thing you got to remember. Your heart is a muscle. And just like if you went to the gym and lifted a super heavy weight every single day, that muscle is going to adapt. It's going to get bigger. This process in the heart is called cardiac remodeling. But here's the catch. When it comes to your heart, bigger is definitely not better. It's actually a sign of serious strain and inefficiency.
And this slide just lays it out perfectly, side by side. On the left, you've got a healthy heart working easy with flexible arteries. But on the right, that's the hypertensive heart, fighting against stiff arteries. This leads to two huge problems you see here. First, left ventricular hypertrophy, which just means the walls of the main pump get too thick. And second, diastolic dysfunction, which means that thick, stiff muscle can't relax properly to fill up with blood. The pump just gets weaker and weaker.
So you might be wondering, how common is this, really? Well, get this. One study of people with high blood pressure found that 6% of them already had this thickened heart wall. So this isn't some rare worst-case scenario. It's a frequent result of uncontrolled blood pressure, and it shows the physical damage is already there in a lot of people.
But here's where things get really fascinating. It's not just about that one high number you get at the doctor's office. The pattern of your blood pressure over a full 24-hour day plays a massive role in how much damage is being done.
Okay, take a look at this chart. Normally, your blood pressure has a rhythm. See that dipping line? It's supposed to be higher during the day when you're up and about, and then drop by at least 10% at night when you're sleeping. That nightly dip is crucial. It gives your heart and arteries a break. But for a lot of people with hypertension, that dip just doesn't happen. That's the non-dipping line. Their pressure stays high all night long, meaning their entire cardiovascular system is under relentless strain, 24/7 with no time off. And don't just take my word for it. The science on this is absolutely crystal clear. As this quote spells out, that non-dipping pattern is directly linked to harmful, pathological changes in the heart and vessels. That lack of a nightly rest just hits the fast-forward button on the damage. And the damage isn't just in one spot either. This messed up rhythm affects the entire heart, the main left side pump, the right side, even the upper chambers. It can even throw off the heart's delicate electrical system, which puts you at a higher risk for dangerous arrhythmias.
So, for a long time, all this damage was pretty much invisible until major symptoms showed up. But that's changing, and this is the really hopeful part. We now have an amazing arsenal of tools that can actually see this hidden subclinical damage long before it turns into a crisis.
So how do we actually peek behind the curtain and see this stuff? Well, with advanced ultrasounds, or echocardiograms, we can literally measure the strain on the heart muscle. Simple blood tests for things called biomarkers can pick up on tiny stress signals the heart sends out. We can even analyze the heart's electrical signals or the very shape of your pulse to get a crazy detailed picture of heart health, and none of it is invasive. This lets doctors get ahead of the problem.
And why is this so critical? Well, check this out. One study found that among people with hypertension who had no history of heart problems, almost 8% of them were already at high risk for a major cardiac event in the next 10 years. These are the exact people these advanced tools are designed to find and protect before it's too late.
Okay, so we've seen the damage, and we've seen how we can detect it early. Now for the final, and let's be honest, the most important piece of the puzzle. What on earth can we do about it? Well, the great news is we have proven, safe, and effective ways to fight back and protect the heart.
Just look at this table. It's not about one magic bullet. We have a whole toolkit. Getting blood pressure under tight control is proven to be safe and incredibly effective. Things like aerobic exercise don't just lower the numbers. They fundamentally improve the heart's fitness. And even some newer medicines, like certain diabetes drugs, have been shown to be safe for the heart and actually help it relax and feel better.
And the biggest takeaway from all the research is that you can't just pick one of these and call it a day. The most effective strategy is a holistic one. It means managing your blood pressure, your cholesterol, your exercise, your diet, all of it together as part of an integrated plan. That's what gives your heart the best possible protection.
So, let's boil this all down. If you remember just 3 things from our time today, make it these. Number 1, a blood pressure reading is way more than a number. It's a measure of a physical force that is actively reshaping your heart. 2, we can now see this invisible damage happening way earlier than ever before. And 3, most importantly, we can do something about it. Protection is absolutely possible with proven, safe strategies. Which leaves us with one final, fascinating thought. As our ability to see the heart's real-time function gets better and better, the very definition of good blood pressure might change. Maybe it'll become less about hitting one specific number and more about making sure the heart and blood vessels are truly healthy, flexible, and working the way they should, 24 hours a day. Thanks for watching.